Welcome back to the Daily Quota. I'm your host, Nicholas Hill, and in today's lesson, you'll create a system for continuously learning new sales techniques throughout your career. Now, taking this course is an excellent first step, but good salespeople know that they should be continuously refining their techniques because the market changes, and buyer behavior changes, and tech culture changes, and ultimately, you want to stay up to date with the newest information. So let's talk about a few ways that you can do that. Number one is that you should be subscribing to popular sales newsletters. Now, different newsletters are going to work for different styles, but four that I recommend are Sales Hacker, The Brutal Truth About Sales and Selling, Gong Labs, and HubSpot Sales Blog. These are four very well-known sales newsletters, and they will keep you up to date. One of the newsletters that I really like in that list is Gong Labs because they actually bring in specific sales examples and snippets when they're giving advice, which is hyper practical. So I would definitely recommend looking into that one. The next thing that you should do is listen to sales podcasts. So I usually listen to these while I'm on my commute or at the gym. But three podcasts that you should follow are the Make It Happen Mondays podcast, which is hosted by John Barrows. We've talked about John in a few other episodes. And also both of the podcasts that are hosted by Will Barron. So the Salesman podcast, which is, that one's more long form interviews. And then Selling Made Simple, which are quick, digestible lessons that you can leverage for practical tips. After listening to each podcast episode, I would summarize the key takeaways, think about how you can apply them in your own sales process. Another excellent way to stay up to date is through sales webinars, classes, and workshops. So think about organizations like Sales Hacker, HubSpot, LinkedIn Learning. You can find regular webinars with industry experts. You can also look for classes like this one, but more like advanced classes, continuous learning. There are websites like Udemy or Coursera, Skillshare. They all offer classes and topics that are more specific to where you're struggling in the sales process. So think about things like negotiation, prospecting, closing deals, more advanced strategies. I would also make it a habit to attend at least one of these webinars or one class each month and reflect on how you can apply kind of what you've learned. Online communities are another great place to share experiences, ask for advice, learn from other sales professionals. On Reddit, there are some specific subreddits. The sales subreddit, the sales technique subreddit, tech sales, and SaaS. On Facebook, you should look into SaaS growth hacks, Sales Talk with Sales Pros, SaaS sales professionals, and the Sales Pro community. And then finally, there are sales communities or mastermind groups that you can leverage. Rev Genius, Pavilion, those are two. They're excellent places for kind of peer-to-peer learning where you can talk about strategies, get feedback, tap into the collective knowledge there. So engage with those communities. That will give you kind of a diverse perspective on how others are handling some of the challenges that you might be facing. And then lastly, if your organization has an in-house sales enablement team, don't forget to leverage them, right? Let them know what you need, how you can be better supported from a learning and training and development standpoint, whether that's access to training materials, workshops, mentorship programs. They'll be able to help you kind of stay ahead of the curve there. To bring all of this together, you really should be setting quarterly learning goals for yourself. So write down 2 to 3 learning gaps, development gaps that you want to close, skills that you want to pursue or improve upon, and then find some learning resources that will help you to bridge those gaps. Courses, podcasts, webinars, etc., etc. Break these goals into SMART goals. So specific, measurable, action-oriented, results-oriented, time-bound, right? Make sure that these are goals that you can actually measure if you've done it or how you're tracking. Cool. All right. Now it's your turn. What I want you to do is review one sales-related article for today's assignment, listen to one sales podcast, join one online community, enroll in a course, and set quarterly learning goals. Your study guide is going to walk you through this. And I would talk to your mentor, manager, new hire buddy about what are the things that they do to sharpen the sword and to hone their skills on an ongoing basis. And that is it for today's lesson. Short lesson today, but that's it for today's lesson on the Daily Quota. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.